All right, I think this is episode 4, but don't quote me on that. I've got my gas tank off of Isabella here. I've got it tilted up this way, and I do that because I want as much of this fuel that's in this carburetor, I want it to drain back into the tank just for cleaning purposes and less mess. I mean, there will be fuel left in that carburetor, but it'll be less than what would be if I didn't do this, so that some of that fuel is going to drain back into the tank, and then I'll dispose of this fuel because it's old. I can tell by looking at it. It's really yellow, and that's a sign that it's old. And the other things that we've done here, I put the correct handle up here, and obviously the kill switch is working. A lot of times the amateurs out there have problems with the mowers starting, and it's because this is not separating, because the cable is rusted. Water gets down in there and runs down the cable, rusts that all inside, and then this will get locked up. And this one's fixed, but sometimes there's one that it'll just pop off because it's under so much pressure, because that's a very powerful spring right there. But this is not rusted, so you can see there's good separation. So that mower will now, you can crank it and it will start if all the conditions are correct. And then when you release this bail up here, then boom, that kills it right there, because it's touching that kill wire. The kill wire is right there and goes up around to the coil, and that kills your mower. So now we're gonna want to show you this. I cleaned this out. There's a lot of dirt and gunk in there. I recommend you do that, because if there's a bunch of stuff up in there, that little rewinder with its plastic parts has got to figure out how to catch this and spin it around. And there's a correct and incorrect way to put this cup on here. This is called the starter cup. Those little ears have to fit into those slots. In other words, you can't put it, it's not going to work that way. You'll bend it and mess it up. So there's just one way for this to go on here, and it's that, like that. So that's going to catch and turn this. And this little washer here goes, and it's not important how that goes in, just that it's on there. You just want that on there, okay? So that's there. And we're going to reinstall that with the nut that goes on there. So that's where we are with that. I'm not going to change focus here back to the gas tank and carburetor, because that's got to be cleaned out. Let me go around there. So I've got to get that carburetor off, and I'm going to get my pliers. The ones I like are some pliers with a flat end that will cover both the prongs on that hose clamp. So let's see if we can get that done. It's going to come in here like that and grab that hose clamp this way. Okay, and then to get this off, you have to start turning it around and then kind of wiggle it. You can see some of the fuel coming out there. Let me get a paper towel to catch that. Let's see if we can finish this now. Some that kind of go around and around, but also you'll find to get this off, you kind of have to go this way with them. Okay, so it's off now. And hopefully a lot of the fuel is back in this tank that I've got to dispose of anyway. So we'll set that there. And let me get rid of this old fuel. But I don't want to waste your time with that. So what we'll do instead is we're going to reinstall the starter cup with the impact wrench. And I've got the engine brake on, which will provide some resistance to when this impact wrench hits it. That brake is on, so it's going to help tighten that nut. So that's on there good. Also, I've looked at the gap from the coil to the flywheel, and it looks okay. Obviously, it's not touching because you can spin this, so that's good. All right. You come around that way. All right, let's go over here. We're going to get this gas out of that old tank. This is my old gas receptacle right here. And I've got it marked that way, so I'm going to try and put that in the mower. And you know, I'm going to use this tank and get some fresh gas in it, but I've got to get this old stuff out, and this is how we're going to do that. There's not too much fuel in here, but I also want to use this opportunity to check and make sure that that this does drain, because if this cap is not allowing air to get in there, this mower will shut off and not run. And sometimes that happens. These gas caps don't work properly. So that, I got that old gas out of there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, you know, like a fourth of a cup or something like that of good quality gas that I know is fresh, and kind of swish that around in there. Do that. And just so you know, this type of fuel tank also has a vent right here. There's a little pinhole that goes up into the tank that also allows this tank to ventilate, so that the gas will flow and you don't get it, you know, locked up, because you've got a vacuum created in there. So if you tilt it this way, you'll get gas coming out of this tiny little port as well as that hose. But what I want to do right now, I've got the good quality gas in there. I'm sort of using as a cleaning agent. I'm going to swirl that around a little. Going to turn the tank a little. Swish, swish, swish. And let me get one of my gloves here, and a piece of plastic or something. There we go, a little piece of rubber. And swish this around. Shake, 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 shake. Because we're trying to clean that tank of that old fuel. And so now I'm going to drain this little bit of good fuel I put in there. See how clear that is. That's the color that you want, not the way it was, which was yellow. And so this tank is now going to work, and it will not be pushing old dirty gasoline into that carburetor, which I'm going to clean. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll come back and start on the carburetor.